They say it's like riding a bike. I feel like I just rode my bike into a telephone booth. It was a crazy, you're talking, yeah, boof, right into the telephone booth. So, hey, guys, wins and lessons Friday. Let me get back to the chat here. By the way, y'all did an awesome job yesterday on the show. Ryan, I can tell you were in the clicking. You're like, oh man, I hope I'm doing it right. And you guys did awesome.
Great.
You did
He
awesome.
did awesome. Awesome, man. He did awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, wins and lessons, boys. Here's the big one. It's Friday. Like, I can't believe we're coming into mid-September already next week. Q4 is looming. It's on the horizon. Let's go, guys. Sure. What's your big wins and lessons? Why don't we start kind of clockwise on the camera here with Ryan, just because we want to throw him in the hot spot right away. Good morning, Lisa, and yes, happy Friday.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're going counterclockwise. Obviously the biggest one for me, biggest win is coming on the show. I think it's been like the past 2 days have been amazing. Working with Jeff and then with Dan as well. The community is one thing that I love the most. I've seen everyone's comments, seen everyone's well wishes. I think I got probably 15 LinkedIn connection requests yesterday. So keep it coming, keep it coming. People are awesome. The conversation is awesome, and we're gonna just. From what I've kind of learned is that, hey, we're going to make the beginner to the novice to the amateur to the expert of logistics. We're just going to up their game a little bit, right? So that was the biggest win for me. A part of that is having my family support so much on Facebook. So everyone who's logged in on my personal Facebook, thank you guys so much for liking and leaving all those beautiful comments. For losses, I don't know. I maybe we'll have to get back to me on that one.
No, lessons, no losses, lessons.
Oh, lessons. My apologies. Yeah, I think. You know what? Come back to me on that one. I'll have to think about that because I'm riding the high of coming on Sales Chatter with you.
I hear you. And Lisa says, "Ooh, Ryan, you rocked the show yesterday. Way to go." So I had my last oncology session with my radiation oncologist yesterday because I finished all my treatments on Wednesday. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. And it was actually pretty funny. So he has a younger resident with him. And my guy comes in and says, so Dan, as my younger resident says, you're a baller. And I said, I'm a baller. What the hell is that? And he says, that's like a guy that, has got it. And, he's taking it by the horns and he's moving with it and he's crushing it. He says, so good for you. And so of course, I'm like, hey kids, guess what I got called? like text him like, dad's a baller. What?
Yeah. You gotta get the shirt swag.
Yeah, that's coming. It actually got me thinking. And for all of you that practice personal development and all this kind of stuff, I've seen so many people where it's like they talk one thing, but when something hits them in life, they don't walk that walk. And I can tell you, the walking of the talk for me over the last 6-7 weeks has been probably one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life. But I've learned so much. I've learned how strong I truly am, how strong my mindset is. And I've crushed it. I feel I'm in a way better position than most people at the point in my treatments right now. My throat is unbelievably sore. It's unbelievably dry because I'm missing all my saliva glands on this side, but it's working. You can tell my voice is coming back. I'm trying my hardest, and I know you guys laugh at this every time I say it, but I'm trying my hardest not to talk. Yeah, no, I am. I really am. And I'm doing a lot more by text and email. I've learned to cut calls off when it's like, okay, it's getting repetitive enough. Time to go, move on to the next one. Like I'm getting much more streamlined that way. But the biggest win for me is that mindset, and the biggest lesson is when you stop and just keep giving yourself that extra build up in your head, kind of like, people are like, oh, you're inspirational. You're like, dang, come on, man, you can do this. Like it's not going to kill you. It's not going to crush you. It's not going to nothing can stop you. It's just, you got to go and you got to do it. That for me, probably the biggest lesson, both win and lesson for me over the last kind of month and a bit. And big win is having you guys being able to continue the show when I was down, and DJ being able to continue the show when I was down. And to me, that means the world. So thank you. There we go. That's it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We don't need, like I keep on telling you, Dan, there's no reason to apologize for anything or thank us. So we're more than happy to, fill the seats and continue to keep this show, above ground. So we're happy to do it for you, my friend.
Rock on, brother. What about you, Jeff?
It's a win for us.
What's that? My wins? It was a great week, a great week. First and foremost, I have to say, Mr. Ridley, I was able to get him an appointment with one of my customers, which I think is going to grow his business exponentially. I'm always out. My wins are always helping other people, man. I enjoy it immensely. It's not always about me and, my successes. It's actually more about other people's successful, relationships and how they build them and how I help to manifest that, to bring it to fruition. That's my biggest enjoyment, especially at this time in my career. I mean, I really enjoy doing that. So Mark knocked it out of the park. He did a great job. He's working on other things as well. Yesterday I had the privilege of joining a fundraising golf outing, which is just the name is awesome. It's called Nothing is Impossible. It's a great name. And what it deals with helping people financially, temporarily, when a catastrophic event happens, a loss of a loved one, a loss of a job, cancer, car accident, hospitalizations, you name it. We support that, and over the last 8-9 years, so we've given away $1.7 million in grant to these people, and it was created by a bunch of lawyers in my local town. I was invited by the Knights of Columbus to do that. And now it's my new go-to. I'm going to start sponsoring it. It's such a great program to do things like that for other people. So it's also a lesson too. Again, it's not always about you. The lesson is to give when you can, where you can. Every day of your life. Those are my wins and lessons for the week, man. It was just great. Just a perfect week. I have no downfalls. So,
brother, that's an amazing cause. And I mean, I've thank the Lord, I've never been in a position where it's a major loss of a job or something, but I can tell you, the last 7 weeks, not being able to work, having to shut down my program, those, if I wasn't blessed to be able to weather that storm, I couldn't imagine how people do it. I couldn't imagine, because it's being on morphine or Tylenol 3s all day where you just can't make decisions, or your brain's all foggy, and they're saying, well, you got to be off for 7 to 12 weeks, and it's like zero income coming in. It's devastating. So God bless you for doing that.
You really can't put yourself in that position unless you've been in that position. Truly. I mean, I don't care how hard that you think about what it must feel like. You're not going to know. All you can see it. You can kind of feel it emotionally when you see these people. But man, unbelievable, man. So I'm happy to do it. Absolutely happy to do it.
That's awesome, brother. That's awesome. Mark, what do you got this week for us, brother?
Well, we went on last week, weren't we? So it's been a good last couple of weeks. In fact, my biggest win of the day so far is Leah, my wife, has just delivered tea on a tray. I don't know if we're trying to impress viewers or she's trying to impress me. In honor of the Queen, passing. So we are having tea
Ah.
in a teapot, and so I'm just going to pour that out in a second. But also have a very special mug as well, which I promised Lisa that I would drink from today. We'll talk about that one in a second. So before I pour my tea and get into real stuff, yeah, it's been a good couple of weeks. So we got Baxter's back to school this week. He's super pumped, super excited. And I feel, both Leah and I feel, that he's stepped up as well, literally, like on the day going back, coming home that night, it just felt like he'd ratcheted up 1,000%. So we feel like that's a massive win, because there's always concerns about going back to school, and we try, like, in the final couple of weeks, trying to make sure that he's okay and feels comfortable, that he can express any anxieties, and he just took it, man. It was superb. Jeff referenced connecting with a couple of his clients this week. He's been a solid referral partner. Super appreciate that, Jeff. And then once we'd finished that call, actually, Jeff, we just literally put the phone down, and Baxter had just walked into my office here, and he's like, he just caught your image just flashing off the screen, and he's like, is that the Bodacious Cowboy? So he knows who you are now. So I don't know if it's worrying that he knows you as the Bodacious Cowboy, or he recognizes your image on the beer can that I drink from. So, like, either way, it's kind of funny, I think.
That is I love that.
So it's been a good couple of meetings with Jeff's clients. One in particular is an actual importer, a buyer of product, and hopefully we won't go into too much detail, but they're shipping dollars out to Europe for what they're bringing in, and we think that we can probably save them about $20,000 a month. That's the plan. I'm trying to be a bit conservative, so they should be big winners in all of this, and hopefully we can make Jeff a winner as well, because we want to make sure that he looks like the hero that he is. Whenever we are in these situations, yes, the client is super important. Yes, we're bending over backwards, but we've always got Jeff and any of our referral partners. They're always firmly in our minds as well, because they're the ones whose reputations are on the line. Picked up some account opening docs this week as well. We've got some payroll going out to Mexico, which is kind of cool. My beloved Tottenham Hotspur, these guys here, they beat Marseille in the week, so I'm super pumped about that. Ryan, I think over your right shoulder, I'm looking at cricket on the screen up there. I haven't seen cricket in for like ever, so that's a big win for me. That's a reminder to get back into like finding the cricket channel. But lessons, really, it's the same. We talk about this all the time. Stay on top of your prospects. Stay on top of your clients. It doesn't matter, if you've had that conversation like 6 months ago, and, having regular conversations. It might take a week, it might take a month, it might take 5 years to convert that client. I think you have to also know when to cut. When somebody's really going to be, wasting your time. You don't want to be having 1,000 conversations and they're never going to go anywhere. So learning the difference between somebody that might buy in 5 years and somebody who's never going to buy at all. So that's really it. And in honor of Her Majesty, I'm just going to pour myself my morning tea.
You go for it. While you do that, my friend, what we will do is we will hit this. I really do love that video. I love that video. So the lane of the day today is flatbed from Charleston, West Virginia to Gary, Indiana. We're talking $3.48 per mile. With fuel, we're talking $4.25 per mile all in. Contracted rate at this point is $3.50. So the contracted rates and the spot rates are starting to match each other here. The spot rate line haul rate per mile change is 13 cents so far. So rates are on the rise as capacity is tightening in the West Virginia market. The current rate is 54 cents a mile higher than the August average. So starting to see some flips, and very excited about next Wednesday, because next Wednesday Dean's going to come on and talk about Q4 and what the data tells us on Q4. So that should be very, very, very good from that point.
Awesome.
All right. Here we are, Ryan. We've come full circle, buddy. It's back to you because you didn't give us a lesson.
Yeah, no, I've definitely thought about it. I think just coming back on Mark's point about don't take the gas off with your customers. One of the things I've kind of learned this week is that I've had two prospects reach out who've never ever reached out to me, none of my calls, none of my emails at all, and they've actually reached out for assistance this week. So I would say just keep pounding the pavement. You just never know who's gonna come to you in their situation of need. My lesson for sure that I've kind of, and maybe it's coming towards maybe like working with you guys and everything like that, is I've been watching the videos I've been doing for the past 2 days, and my biggest lesson is I've been Googling how to stop saying and how to get this glare off my ring light. So
never watch the videos that you make. Never watch the videos you make for the first
time. It's like you hate your own voice, right? You're like, who the hell is that, right? So those are two big lessons for me. I've definitely loved being on the show, talking with everybody and just kind of learning with everybody. But I think, like I said, to Mark's point, that I really, really think that never take the gas off the pedal when it comes to your prospects, and know when to cut them, but you just never know. You just never know when the time is right. So play the short game, play the long game. Just like the Rams got smoked last night, Super Bowl champions don't mean nothing, right? So the Bills took home that big win, and hey, it's a new season.
Yeah, and you know
Ryan, go for it, Jeff.
Yeah, Ryan, just to follow up on yours, what Mark was saying before and keeping the pedal on the gas with the prospects, I always look for other value-added ads to bring to my customers, hence the reason why I brought Mark in. And, Mark and I are very good friends and stuff, but I believe in what Mark's product is and what he's doing, and he's proving it over and over again. So, when you go and you talk to your prospects and everything, always look for other solutions that other people don't offer. I mean, that's your value add. And it's something that I've been doing for a very, very long time, because you can't keep it to the normal thing that you do, that you've been doing for years. You've always got to recreate your approach, your ideas, your creativity constantly, all the time. It's always renewing the relationship that you always had with your customers. You just can't take it for granted. You always have to bring another stage of life to that relationship. So
yeah, and you always got to kind of like reinvent yourself. Like, I'm going to throw a wrestling reference if anybody watches wrestling, but there's this wrestler, Chris Jericho, from like Winnipeg, Manitoba, and he's known for quote unquote reinventing himself every 3 to 6 months. He's been wrestling for maybe like 20 years, but he's always with something brand new every 3 to 6 months. So he's giving layer by layer by layer. So it's completely correct, because look at all of us during the pandemic. We all had to pivot, right? Like, most of us had to work from home. We had to look at different solutions. If any of us did like sea freight shipping, we had to find solutions, right? So I think the one thing that I've kind of learned with everybody is always be an ongoing student. Always be willing to learn from anybody and everybody. Doesn't matter of their experience or anything like that. Everyone goes through different bridges. So learn from their experience rather than trying to drive through that bridge yourself, right? So that's that I believe that's very valuable.
As Bruce Lee used to say, be like water.
Yep.
You got to be like water, and you got to be able to move with the ebbs and flows of what comes your way. I do have a question for you, Ryan, though. So you said you had 2 people reach out that hadn't reached out before. What was their big issues?
It was RFPs, and it wasn't like blind copy RFPs. It was, hey Ryan, they've acknowledged that I've been reaching out to them, and they've said, hey, we're having this RFP, we want to include you. And swear on my dogs, like, they have never replied to. I probably sent maybe 15 to 20 emails within the last 3 to 6 months, a bunch of calls to them, completely dead air. And it's just really RFP season. We're kind of getting into that a little bit more now, but to see that they're actually taking the time. How often do we get as sales reps when we call a customer and get them? They're like, yeah, we'll add you to the list, and we'll give you a call when we're ready, right? I kind of call that out in some emails to prospects that, hey, give me the truth, like, give me what's going to happen. Am I going to go down to the bottom of the Rolodex? So to answer your question, Ed, it was just strictly like, hey, do you want to be included in our RFP? We like what we kind of see with you guys, and let's see where we can go from here.
Now, is it a mini RFP or is it a big one?
Sorry.
Is it a mini RFP or is it a big one?
I would say it's a mid-size, just based on.
Okay.
So right now we're kind of getting into the RFIs right now, but we've kind of gotten like to the sneak peeks of hey what they're kind of looking at. But I would say they're mid-size from what we kind of see.
Did you have a conversation with? I'm just curious whether or not they're just canvassing your abilities to get rates and then compare it to others as a benchmark. I mean, what was your follow-up questions to them when they called you and they said, "Hey, Ryan, we'd love to have you part of our next RFP." How did you follow up with that when they said that? I'm just curious.
Of course. So I got on my seat. I got my calculator, started counting all the commission that I was going to make from winning every single load that they've given us. No, what I've kind of learned with these RFPs is that I gave the customer a call myself because I'm like, hey, if they send me an email, they're going to pick up the phone. And hey, just do a little plug here for Dano. But on the 28-day challenge, I learned that hey, there was the RFP playbook. Just kind of find out what they're kind of looking for. So I was able to kind of qualify them based on that call. And then we're kind of go from there. So we kind of ask questions. What are you guys exactly looking for? That was exactly my first question.
Mm-hmm.
And they shared some details, and we're going to be moving forward. So it wasn't a situation like if I didn't use that from the RFP playbook, I probably would have been like, hey, yes, I want the RFP. Send it over to me. We got you, and then I'll bid on 20X lanes and then don't win anything. And I'm like, ah, crap, how am I going to get Christmas gifts this year?
And we always think it's a game changer. We always look at the RFPs and we go, oh my God. Like, look, I get that lane, I get that lane, I get that lane. And it's
make
like,
it rain.
It's like, oh my God, my business is saved. I didn't have to make any sales calls all year. And this wonderful, miraculous RFP fell in my lap. And it's like, guys, come on, man. Get it together. It's awesome.
Good for you, Ryan. Good for you, man.
Good for you, brother. But Ryan, that's your effort and energy for the last year and a half paying off, man. Right? There's no luck. We make our own luck. And it's through our effort and energy we put out, we get the exact same back. And speaking of that, I want to make sure I'm on top of it this week, Mark. Do you have a financial review for us on currencies and stuff?
You know what? I've been
so it's no.
Decorating.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been decorating for the last 2 days, and I just realised that I've got paint still on my hands. I tried to clean up as best I could today, but so I haven't really been paying too much attention to the markets. Although I will say that the ECB in Europe, they raised interest rates in the week, and it didn't do too much for the euro. It strengthened it slightly, but then just tapered off. So the data is still suggesting that the euro will be stronger by the end of the year and moving into the early part of next year. So what does that mean? Anybody that's importing right now from Europe, they're going to find those imports becoming a little bit more expensive as we move forward. And in those scenarios, if the data does continue to support that the euro will be more strong by the end of the year, then we'll start talking to our clients about hedging their 2023 payables, i.e. start locking those rates in now and over the next few months for the next 12 months. So as the euro does become stronger, you're buying a cheaper euro throughout the entire year based on the actions that you take today. So the pound is like I still have pensions in the UK, which I'm waiting to transfer over. And I'm an idiot because I'm still waiting for that to get back to the good old days of 150. And now we're at like 115.84. 85. So like the pound is really super weak. That's probably going to pick up a little bit actually based on the sad events of yesterday. The UK will tend to rally in situations like that. So nothing too crazy from me in terms of an update. I've been largely using this as my final week before getting right back into the 18-hour days on Monday.
Cool. Well, you know what? If you can next week, I'd love to have you talk more about that hedging and interest rates and what it does, because I think it would give salespeople a really good insight to have a high level conversation with their customers and hopefully engage you to come in and talk to their customers. So if you can set that up for next week, Mark, that'd be awesome.
All right. Let's focus on that. The other thing I will mention is I think I'm still the only one that's taking Hawaiian Shirt Friday seriously.
Oh my God.
So
I'm sorry.
because of the cricket, I was gonna wear my West Indies like jersey, but I didn't know if it was casual Fridays. Like it's the first one. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but
I
It's
know
Hawaiian
It's
shirt
supposed to
Friday,
be
right?
Hawaiian shirt day Friday. Yes, it is.
Thank you,
And
Dan.
I totally
Thank you,
forgot,
Dan.
Mark.
I gotta go
Yeah,
shopping.
sorry. My bad, brother. My bad. It has nothing to do with the morphine and everything I'm on 24/7 lately.
Well,
Such is
here's
my
the thing, man.
commitment.
That's another reason for my wife and I to go to Winners, right? So
Yes.
There you go.
I love Winners. Winners is such a great show. Such a great place. Okay, so anyone have any last thoughts before we check out for the weekend and go enjoy ourselves and rest, get a little R&R?
I think, you know what, for me, what I've kind of seen the first week of September, I think it's going to be a really good ride to the rest of the year. For everyone's kind of dedicated, so everyone just basically stay on it, you know, and know that the fruits that you're kind of bearing it's going to bear. I kind of want to see like the wins and lessons from everybody else, like Lisa, everybody in the chat, see what they're kind of up to and things like that. But those are kind of just keep going, you know, momentum
Exactly.
gets
And be patient.
Yes.
Don't rush it. Do not rush it. Good things take time to come to fruition. Don't expect the first phone call and you're making $1,000 a day tomorrow. It's just not going to happen. Let it work itself out. Get in there, ask those pertinent questions that you need to ask to uncover those gold mines, and then just keep on following up. You're 3 months out of something really, really big. It's not going to happen next week. It's not going to happen the week after. So don't start counting that money before. You can't put the cart before the horse. I'm sorry. You know, in this business, It takes time for it to manifest itself. And when it does, get in there quickly and make sure that you service that customer like you had never did before.
Love it. And don't forget, now's the time to start the conversations about Q4 and the beginning of 2023 and what your customers expect from you.
Yes,
and
sir.
What you can do to help them achieve their goals. So we're coming into a really great time of the year, because now is when people start realizing, holy crap, I'm not even close to reaching my yearly goal. Like, you're going to see on all the social platforms, you're going to see all these posts about, you know, goals, and this is the time of year where it all starts. Kids are back to school. Everybody feels like they're back to, you know, everybody's back from summer vacation. People are going to start answering phones and emails and all these things. Things are going to start happening. So just keep your foot on the gas.
Yeah. And one more thing,
I just add to that.
Yeah, one more.
Just add to that. Sorry, I'll just go here. For when you're talking about, like, you're seeing on LinkedIn, it's really important to clog the noise and filter out all the noise that you kind of see on social media. Just honestly, just put in the work. You know, you don't have to see all the LinkedIn influencers and creators kind of like throwing out everything and then kind of going from there. So bet on yourself, like Fred Van Vliet.
Yeah, one more thing.
I like that.
Right now, large corporations are starting to build their forecast and budget for next year. Okay, if it's a Japanese company's fiscal year end on March 31st and they start on April 1st. So keep that in mind. So right now, the larger companies are starting to put everything together. And if you want to get your foot through the door before they make that budget, start preparing, start reaching out to those customers that you have on your checklist that need to be contacted, because this is a perfect time to get your foot in the door before they, you know, make that budget concrete and they start doing their forecast for 2023. So do it.
We got Christy. Christy's listening in today. Christy, good morning, dear. So good to see you. And then Lisa says, hello, Christy. And then here, hope you're well. Great to see you over here on LinkedIn, lady. Sorry, haha. Christy, great to have you here. We're so glad you joined us today.
Absolutely.
We actually got to get Christy on Tuesday, because she is a rock star. So Christy, I'll reach out to you because that's very important. We're going to start setting up end of September and into October. So it's going to be awesome. All right. Well, hey. Here you go, y'all. Y'all can take off. Have a great long weekend, everybody, and we'll see everybody on Monday for Mayhem Monday.
Sounds good.
Have an awesome.
In trucking, our motto is people before profit. Today's market requires more transparency, consistency, and focus on what our clients need to win. Centurion Trucking and American Logistics are poised to help their clients achieve and surpass their targets. If you're looking for a team that honors your needs, dreams, and aspirations, then get a hold of Daman at American Logistics or Centurion Trucking and start designing